civil rights or Bill of Rights. I think someone just said today they signed the Defense Authorization Act, which is like the final nail in the coffin of our rights as far as civil rights, as far as the Bill of Rights. There is no Bill of Rights for us right now. It doesn't exist. That's urgent. That's something that we should be alarmed about. You know, I don't really feel the urgency or the alarm in my neighborhood or anywhere. You know, it's like kind of blasé. But police brutality, even in the prisons, they just recently indicted some corrections officers in Attica Correctional Facility for assault on an inmate. This situation got to see the courthouse because they like overdid it. You know, they broke both his legs, they broke his arms. They're like, that can't just be resistance, right? But the truth is that in Attica, and I was there, they beat people up all the time. You know, they assault people all the time and don't get away with it. That's why they felt like they could break this guy's arms and break this guy's legs and felt like, hey, nothing gonna happen. Because usually what they do is they charge the guy on the floor with assaulting them, and the rest of the story is just forgotten, right? He gets an extra 7 years, he gets an extra 5 years added onto his bid, while the officers just continue to do the stuff that they do. So, I mean, police brutality, it starts in the youth, it starts in the schools. It starts in the schools. There's something brutal about you having to go through a metal detector before you get into the school. There's something that says something to you. You know, that not every community has to go through that. Not every high school kid has to go through that. There's high schools where people have gone in to that high school and shot the whole high school up. And those people, when they go to school, don't have to go through a metal detector. But in my neighborhood, everybody does. So what is that? You know, it's basically, you can't speak about police brutality without speaking about racism and without speaking about, you know, oppression of people of color. You know, whether that be black, Latino, mostly blacks and Latinos, you know. And now Muslims, you know, from Pakistan or wherever else. You know, they're recently a very big target of police brutality and police repression. That, I guess, I just will keep it at, I mean, I don't know. I mean, police brutality doesn't just affect the person that got shot. And it doesn't just affect their family, although their families are probably the most acutely affected, right? Their mother, their father, their brother, their sister. We have to remember that. All those people that get shot by the cops have a mother, have a father, have a brother, have a sister, have a daughter, have a son. They're part of a family that got robbed of one of their loved ones, you know? But it also affects everybody else in the community. Because if you live somewhere and the cops can come in and kill somebody, and then you see that same cop the next week riding around, it tells you that your life is expendable, that there's no consequence for killing you. And that does something to you. I mean, I'm not no psychiatrist, I ain't never go to college, you know, I was in prison for most of my life. But I know that that does something to you. You know, it creates a certain, like, feeling in you of inferiority, right? Because if your life can be taken without no consequence, then you must be inferior. Because the other guy's life means something. Yours doesn't, you know? So that's just I'm inferior, he's better. I'm less, he's more, you know? And I think that that's just basically what I have to say, is that, like, police brutality is not just a once in a while bad thing that happens when one cop, you know, doesn't follow his handbook. Police brutality is the handbook. Police brutality is the department. Police brutality is the way in which our communities are policed, over-policed, super-policed, and everything else that comes with that, whether it goes through the prison system and we're getting beat downs, and where it goes to, you know, it's just a means of keeping you in your place, keeping a whole community in their place. Because if they, you know, like the Romans, they crucified people. They didn't crucify people just for the people to punish them. They could have just chopped their head off and buried the body. They crucified them, put them up on a crucifix, so everybody else that's seen it would be scared to death. And no, listen, you don't mess with Rome. We got this, you know? And I see that today, you know? I see every time they shoot and kill a black or brown person in my community, it's like a crucifix. That's letting everybody else know, stay in your place. And that's it. That's